بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد خير الخلق أجمعين وعلى آله وصحبه الغر الميامين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Brothers and sisters, we bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his prophet and servant. So as usual, today is Sunday, and you know what Sunday means. It means that we have an Islamic soundbite where we choose a topic, we comment on it, we speak about it, we try to increase our faith, we try to increase our iman by remembering the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the words of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And today we have chosen a topic that revolves around friendship and companionship. And you might be wondering, what is so Islamic about friendship? What is so Islamic about companionship that we have chosen it as a topic while our, let's say, session is called Islamic Soundbites? Well, we would be saying that our religion actually has not left us anything except that it has explained how we should do it. Everything in our religion is explained, even how we clean ourselves, even how we deal with our parents, how we talk to others. Everything is explained, and including friendship as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us instructions, guidelines on how to choose our friends. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well has illuminated and has enlightened the road for us. He has given us some, let's say, criteria that we should go after if we are seeking friends. So let's go into it, and we start with the verse. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-Zukhruf verse 67, Al-Akhillau yawma'idhin ba'duhum li ba'din adu illa al-muttaqin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, friends on that day, which is the day of judgment, will be foes and enemies to one another, except al-muttaqun, except the pious ones. So if, as you can see here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the enmity that is going to be between the friends of this life on the day of judgment. And why is that? Because both of those friends were not actually leading each other by the hand towards the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were causing harm to each other. They were calling each other to sin. They were calling each other to disobedience and to transgressing the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when the day of judgment comes, those two friends or more, everyone will be accusing the other of causing him this kind of evil, of keeping him away from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the exception here is for the muttaqeen, it's for the pious ones. Why? Because the pious ones in the day of judgment, they will be happy with their friendship, they will be happy with their companionship. Everyone will say that, yes, this man is the one actually that brought me close to you, Allah. This one is the one who used to wake me up for prayer. This one is the one who used to send me, let's say, reminders about the religion and staying away from haram stuff. And by this, they will be seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, the transgressors, the disobedient ones, the friends that are going to be enemies on the day of judgment, when they see the wrath, when they see the anger, when they see the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everyone will be free from the other. They will hate to be associated with that friend. And this is very, very bad. This is why we should be careful who we choose as friends. Do we want to choose friends that are going to say, I am proud that this is a friend of mine, that this person was a friend of mine in the life? Or are we choosing friends who will be freeing themselves from us and hating to associate with us in the day of judgment, because we were taking each other to, or taking one another to places where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with. So take friends who take you to the masjid, not to the bars and nightclubs. Take friends who make you listen to the Quran, not to music. Take friends who always push you towards halal, not haram. And if we go to the hadith and to the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we will find an explanation of this. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying in the hadith, which is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, that al-mar'u ala dini khalili falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil, meaning that a man follows the religion of his friend. You should be careful who you take for friends. So it is a two options situation. It's whether you take a friend and he influences you, or you influence him. or you have an influence, like a reciprocal influence. And that influence is whether going to be bad or good. And if your friend is among the righteous, among the pious, then he will pull you towards him. Or you will leave because you don't like that. But if your friend is a sinner, someone who, not just a sinner, someone who insists on that, he doesn't want to leave those sins, and this is very bad, then it's whether you become like him or you leave him. And this is the dichotomy. There is no third option in here. So this is why the Prophet ﷺ is advising us to be careful, to be picky, and to know who we select as our friends. It's whether a friend who takes us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or a friend who takes us towards shaitan, who takes us towards hellfire. So this is very important, brothers and sisters, especially in this country, especially in countries where Islam is not widespread, where the Muslim community is a minority. It's a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time, because if you are one who goes to the masjid, that minority that comes to the masjid is actually the pious, righteous one, bi'ithnillah, like with Allah's will, they're going to be the good friends. Why is that? Because if one goes to the West or non-Muslim countries and he is, let's say, mindful of going to the masjid, praying there, doing remembrance and reading the Quran, then for sure 99% that person is trying and striving and struggling to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is a place where you will find good friends. I mean the masjid. There is another hadith actually that speaks of the influence of bad companionship and good companionship, and this is narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is saying the similitude of good company and that of a bad company is that of the owner of musk and the one blowing the bellows, meaning the blacksmith. The owner of musk, meaning perfume, if you take him as a friend and you sit with him, it's either he offers you some free of charge, he gives you some perfume free of charge, or you would buy it from him, or you would smell its pleasant fragrance. In all the three situations, you get goodness, you get good things. Whether you buy, whether you get free of charge, or whether you smell good. However, the one who blows the bellows, the blacksmith, if you sit next to him, it's whether he burns your clothes or you smell a repugnant smell. And in both situations, the influence is there. And subhanAllah, this is a very good example of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that he has given us, so that we know exactly what to do in such situations and how the influence is very, very deep. Like it's whether a very worse, let's say, bad influence, that you will be burning your clothes, meaning your deen will be ruined, meaning your deen will be messed up with, or you will smell a repugnant smell, which is, let's say, the sinner's acts of disobedience. You will be around them, and this is why there is a hadith actually of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ where he said, من كان منكم يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فلا يقعدن في مجلس يعاقر فيه الخمر. Whoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment should not sit in a place where alcohol is being drunk. And why is that? Because if you're sitting there and not forbidding the evil, then you are satisfied with it. You don't hate it, at least with your heart, and then you are kind of accepting that sin. And this is how it starts until we ask Allah to save us. You start to do the same. So yes, not to make it too long, this is in a nutshell what we want to speak about friendship. In this country, it's very important to take good friends that will draw you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will bring you closer to remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your daily life, that will wake you for Fajr, that will make you listen to music, as I said, that will change you to good, that will make you satisfied with obedience, satisfied with abiding to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us good companionship, good friends that will bring us closer to Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us dwellers of Jannah, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge and benefit us with the knowledge we gain. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا.